places, please, everybody. All right, 3, 2, 1, action! Okay, well, that's terrific. Why are you so pumped up? Are you on steroids? Why do I get up in the morning? That's just too far fucked. Hey, Kermit the Frog here, and you are listening to Manny on UFO Buster Radio Network. Yay!
This is Sparta! Fatality.
It's another Monday. I got a case of the Mondays, but that happens every time the podcast episode is on a Monday. This is UFO Buster Radio number 423, I believe. Welcome to the podcast. Today is UFO Day, UFO aliens and anything probable. That's what you're here for, because you know it. But before I get started, we have an all points bulletin to put out on the Norm. The Norm is MIA. We haven't seen him in the chats. He's not on Discord. Somebody find the Norm out in Nevada. He could have been abducted. He could have been probed. He's gone. Nowhere to be found. Who knows where he's at? I mean, everybody needs a vacation from UFOs. God knows I'm ready to take one every other week, for sure. But we'll see. Maybe he'll show up today and enlighten us as to his whereabouts. Today's episode, chock full with some weird stories because it is UFOs and we are in the middle of a pandemic, global pandemic. Everyone's being affected by it. And because you're at home and you ain't got shit to do, you tend to look to the sky, apparently. And there's a lot of people. We heard stories about this early on during the summer. Folks who had nothing better to do than to go outside and look to the sky were finding things. They were seeing evidence of what they felt intrinsically that was true. That maybe there is something out there. Maybe there is something flying in your skies that you can't identify, but yet, because you don't want to go outside and wear a damn mask, you go to the backyard, probably smoke a doobie or two, but when you're looking up, you see some weird things happening. All of a sudden, you believe. It's a weird thing. It's a weird freaking thing. But we got one famous person who is in here who had this similar experience, but she had the whole treatment. She basically had the Stephen Greer application of COVID-19. This is what she had. So we'll talk about that. It's coming up. And then we have the usual suspects like Pareidolia Pete. He's back in it again. It's non-stop with him. He just keeps on going. What's up to the guys who are in the chat? Game Vet, Green Man, and Dave down under. And know the norm. The norm is not being norm. he is MIA. Very fascinating. Fascinating indeed. We're about to play this first track. By the way, I'm going to torture you guys because it is Monday. And usually Monday is like a low energy day. You're defeated because you thought you made some progress on Friday. But when you came into work today, you got the royal probing and nothing seemed right. So for you guys, and sorry for the guys who are listening to this on Tuesday, but for you guys today, I've got nothing but house music for you just to get your spirits up or stop listening to the podcast. I don't know what it is. I can picture Joshua Dynamite in the middle of a dark club somewhere in California, and in the corner somewhere he's got all the glow sticks out, just getting and just sweating his ass off, but he's having a damn good time. This first story is about a situation. This is, oh my God, it is Monday. I can feel it. I can't even talk right. I can't. And I can't even see right either. I can barely see the screen for some reason. Situation going down in the UK, and maybe it's because my mic is too loud. There was a pair of hikers in 1990 that took a picture, not just one, several pictures, color photos of a UFO. There's a ufologist out there who is looking for these hillwalkers, as they call them out there, that photographed a UFO over Pitlochry in 1990. But why are we all of a sudden searching for these two gentlemen who were out taking the hike? Well, it turns out that this individual that it goes by the name of Straiph Wilson had been waiting. He was waiting for the Department of Defense. I'm sorry. It's the UK. It's the MOD. The Ministry of Defense. Same shit, different country. But apparently he was waiting for these records to be released because these photos were included in there from these two hikers. The Ministry of Defense was actually supposed to release these pictures related to this incident and the entire damn report, as a matter of fact, January of this year. So if you know, because COVID-19 happened, everything is a little crazy, right? Nothing is makes sense. Everything is all wacky. But this incident was not released. Now, 6 images that were caught by these two guys that were hiking. The object was over Calvine in Highland Perthshire. This happened in August of 1990. The images and the files relating to the sightings were supposed to be made public, like I said, 30 years after it happened, because the MOD had it locked down. All of a sudden, in January, the Ministry of Defense said, no, we're not going to release them. you rubberdickers out there who are waiting for this, Mr. Wilson, you will have to wait another 52 years. This is crazy. 52 years is apparently what the Ministry of Defense proclaimed regarding this incident. I am assuming that they know that Straiph Wilson, probably not a young guy, not someone like 19 and shit, who can afford to wait 52 years. Probably because of that, they decided to tell him 5 decades, buddy. You're not going to see those pictures for another 5 decades. But what does that tell you? What does that tell you about those 6 photos? 6 color photos taken of this craft. A large diamond-shaped object hovering for 10 whole minutes. And they stopped in the middle of their hike and took these pictures. Why would the Ministry of Defense, which of course our buddy has told us, he used to work over there, the Pope, Nick Popette, who worked in the basement, like 10 levels down, the broom closet, who said that all the time he was there was nothing of interest. And basically, the MOD said nothing really spoke to them as to being of out of this world nature. This is Nick Popette. He said he didn't see anything. He didn't. I mean, he said there was some fascinating ones, but still, let's talk about Rendlesham. That's what he does. He falls back on Rendlesham every time. But it turns out, hey, apparently this one matters enough to delay it another 52 years. Who the fuck does that? I mean, usually I can understand they're like, hey, listen, we need to look at this. We need to look at this, and we'll get back to you in a year. Maybe if we can stretch it. Let's stretch it for a second and say, listen, we need to get some of our biggest, most brainiac, super scientific minds on this, and especially some that are related to the military. We'll get it back to you in 5 years. 52, who the hell does that? 52 years. There's got to be a reason where they're basically saying, oh, you fuckers are alive, you're screwed. You're not going to see this. Because that's basically what they're saying. They might as well have said 100 fucking years, to be honest. Because they've pretty much killed off everyone that has an interest in this particular incident. For what reason? For what reason? So, our buddy here, Mr. Wilson, he is searching high and low for the folks that took these pictures 30 years ago. The question is, are they alive? They could have been 2 old geezers who were 60 who were going out. Yeah, this is their last big walk before they keel over. And they were out there and they decided to pull out their cameras. I would imagine that in 1990, the photos were not that great, but still, they were a very fine quality. Apparently, if people got to wait 5 decades to see them. Now, Mr. Wilson says that speaks volumes. When the government does that, they're trying to hide something. It's one of the most important sightings in Britain, if not the world. The pictures must be quite significant if we could get the 2 hillwalkers to come forward. Back then, people might have been scared of the government, but I don't think they're scared today. Now, I mean, it's a tough one. Like, after you just assume it is, 1990, and you just told the government, I saw a UFO, I've got these pictures. I would imagine that Nick Popette rode up there on his scooter and collected the pictures. Which means that these 2 hikers ain't got shit. Nothing. If they're alive. It is still 30 years. Even if they were in their 30s, maybe 40s, they've probably killed over already. But now we got nosy people. People trying to get to the truth, trying to get to these pictures, who've been waiting around quietly, just hoping, sitting in their own little corner in a dark room. Thanks, Bugs. Chewing and munching on every freaking finger and toenail, waiting for this very moment when the government in the United Kingdom says, I've got you. I've got what you're looking for, mate, lad, and I'm going to give it to you, with or without the Vaseline. But they use no lube, because you got nothing. So, hopefully he finds somebody, or maybe someone related to this, these 2 intrepid, probably folks that never even believed in UFOs. They took the pictures. Maybe they told their kids, or their siblings, or, a nephew or a niece sometime along the way. But August 4th, 1990, that's a long time ago, 30 years. Even as a kid, if someone told you about it, you probably forget, especially if it was that crazy uncle that, right now, today, his issues would be taken care of by medication. That's the deal. In the UK, check out the link in the description. So just in case if you are out there, because I know we got listeners in the UK, and you just happen to be that one little snot-nosed kid back in August of 1990 that heard the story firsthand. Well, someone's looking for you, because the MOD done pooped on a lot of parades in one foul swoop, and they're basically telling anyone that's interested in that particular situation to go fuck off. We don't need you. We're not going to give you the information, so drop dead. Strange thing. Strange thing indeed. By the way, we have a pretty big Dark Horde episode that's going to be on October 31st, Halloween night at 10 p.m. We will have Chris Garcia, Addie, and Charlotte, the psychics extraordinaire. Of course, Charlotte's known as a Renaissance witch. Addie is known as the Sagittarius witch. And both of them were on the podcast, of course, on the Dark Horde podcast. And actually, all three of them were. It is going to be a time for you to get your end of year 2020 go to hell coronavirus readings in, to see if maybe next year things are going to be different for you. See what's going to go down. Maybe get a tarot card reading. I know the ladies are into the tarot cards and crystals. You will be educated in one way or another. I guarantee you. You're going to get some info. Now, whether or not you believe it, that's up to you. Whether or not you put it into some work, you gotta do something with it, right? They're going to give you the info if you ask for it, and just get ready to receive it. Because one way or another, I have a feeling, this is my thought, there's going to be a message for someone. Someone is going to get a really excellent reading, and it'll be great to capture it, on video, because that's the way it's going to be. It's not going to be live on the podcast. It's going to be live on YouTube. So you can join the YouTube live. You don't have to show your face, to be honest. You can actually just log into the link, the guest link, and just use your voice. Kind of like if you were calling by phone. You can use your cell phone, you can use your tablet, you can use a computer. Any which way but loose. So, don't be afraid. Get your information. Talk to these gals and guy, because we all know sometimes psychics can be extremely scary accurate. And sometimes the message they give you might be for someone else you know. By the way, that's 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. So, the kiddies will be done. They'll be done with all their trick-or-treating. Well, at least probably just in the Central States. You guys in Pacific and everywhere else, you might have to rush them or give them a wad of cash and candy and just send them on their way. Hopefully they'll come back one day when they figure out that you had something better to do, like listening to psychics. Demi Lovato shares UFO sightings on Instagram and says she contacted aliens. This is what the pandemic is doing to people. Now, I'm not saying that Demi Lovato has been a picture of sanity. That's not what I'm saying. But she ain't got shit to do, just like the rest of us. And so she contacted aliens. I'm just throw up my hands and just say screw it. Let's all just start meditating and contact aliens like Demi and Stephen Greer do. Because what else you gonna do, right? This is the thing now. Meditate, contact aliens, save the planet. Probably not all in that order, because some of you see the freaking aliens and try to save the planet before you even meditate. Before you even figure out what the hell's going on, to be honest. Demi Lovato has got the Greer in her, because she made contact. Yeah, now you would think she'd be coming out with a new record or something like that. Maybe a new song. But no, 2020 is the year she made contact. That's a film in and of itself. Like, could you imagine? Like, if they ever did a film of her, like in a maybe a biography thing, would they put in the year that she made contact with aliens? Probably not. I have a feeling they won't. But she actually posted this on Instagram along with pictures and a video. If you go into the article that's linked in the description, you can go to Demi's Instagram and check out the video of her sighting, her communicating with E.T. Is this going to mess up her career? I don't know. It all depends. But, could you get any crazier than the year we already had? People will forget about this, I think. She is basically imploring humanity to make contact in an effort to help change the destructive habits destroying our planet. Because for the love of Pete, we know that any alien that mutilates cows and comes in and probes people at random has got to be peace, love, and joy and ready to save us from total destruction. You might have to think about that for a second. Because I don't see how that all goes together. I don't see how it all makes sense. But she goes on to explain that her photos and videos were just some of the evidence from under the stars in the desert sky that can no longer be ignored and must be shared immediately. Well, shit, she's a regular ufologist. She's going to earn Ufologist of the Year this year. Not Tom, because Tom did it a couple years ago. He just came out of doing a couple records and became Ufologist of the Year. Demi Lovato, going to come out of the desert, basically. Freshly probed. She's basically been mindfucked in the desert, meditating out there. And now, forget about her singing career, just like Tom DeLonge. Forget about the music career. Now we're contacting aliens. She ended that particular post with the, these two words, happy communicating. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. COVID-19 is really screwed up with people's heads in so many ways. And, she should have been somewhere inside of a booth somewhere, putting some music together or something. But for the love of Pete, someone let her get out of her house, get into the desert, and the shit's hit the fan. She's got videos and pictures. E.T.'s trying to contact her. There's a pretty long quote here. I'll do my best to not fuck it up, but I will. That's what I do. And it goes like this. Over the past couple of months, tell you, man, 2020, oh, man, Wuhan. This is all Wuhan's fault. If her career goes in the shitter, not that it wasn't already, but if it really hits rock bottom, it's Wuhan's fault. Thanks, China. She says, over a couple of months, I have dug deep into the science of consciousness and experienced not only peace and serenity like I've never known, but I also have witnessed the most incredibly profound sightings, both in the sky as well as feet away from me. That, Demi, is some potent narcotics. She also continued to write on Instagram, this planet is on a very negative path towards destruction, but we can change that together. I don't know who she means by together, because does she really want us to go meditate with her? Probably not. If we were to get 1% of the population to meditate, oh, maybe she does. I take that back. If we can get at least 1% of the population to meditate and make contact, we would force our governments to acknowledge the truth about extraterrestrial life among us and change our destructive habits, destroying our planet. I don't know one thing has to do with the other, and the other. It makes no sense. Even if 10% of the fuckers on the planet went to go meditate, the government still wouldn't give two shits about it. So I don't understand. How would 1% of the world meditating help anyone or bring any light to this? I'll be honest. There's probably whole countries that, 50% of the population meditates anyway every fucking day. Nothing's really changed. So I don't know what she's referring to. Maybe she's got a specific alien she's in contact with that's giving her this information. Like, downloading during her drug-induced stupor. I don't know. I can't explain it. This is it's pretty far out there. But if you want to read a little more, check out the video and the pics that old Demi Lovato posted. Check the link. Click on it. It's in the middle of the page. Her video, the pictures. I don't know what the hell she's looking at, to be honest, because again, the pictures are in the desert. They're in the middle of the dark. It's all fucking blurry. She don't even know what the hell she saw. Stop screwing around. We all know this. But we'll see. Could this be the end of Demi Lovato? Is she's going to start her own little crew, her own little group? The Lovato seers, the Lovato meditators. Who knows? But I'm sure that in these last few months, when we've all been incarcerated in our own homes, thanks to Wuhan again, I'm sure we've all seen some crazy ass shit in the sky, in our homes. Probably shit you never noticed before, and now you're freaked out about it, but it's probably been there for fucking ever. It's just weird. It's just weird. I want to say what's up to the other Asgardians who have joined the chat. We've got Dre, we've got Carlo. Every time I see Carlo, I feel like I need to revert to some kind of like Italian voice, you know, like The Godfather or something like that. I'm not going to even try it. And also Davina, who is there with Dre, because he like takes over the whole thing. He doesn't even let her log on to chat with the Asgardians. What is up with that? By the way, customarily on Mondays, I like to give a shout out to the different countries where UFO Buster Radio is being listened to. And we have a new one this week, but for last week, the U.S., of course, because that's where I'm shouting out from. The U.K., Canada, Australia, India, Ireland, New Zealand, Russia. I'm still tripped out by that. I think somebody's fucking with me. I don't really think that's Russia. Netherlands, Switzerland, hello. Norway, another one. Now for this week, I saw a new one. Let me just pull it up real quick. Just bear with me. Let's see. Thailand, Malta, Croatia. What in the hell is going on? Am I really reaching all the corners of the globe? Those are some crazy places to be, but nonetheless, I thank you guys for listening. I appreciate every single one of you. But you know what you got to do. You know what you got to do. You got to share. You got to like. You got to tell your mama, your dada, your grandpapa. I don't care who it is. If you're going to the market, you pull up your damn mask and you tell them who you listen to. It's okay. You're not going to get COVIDs because that's what Trump said. I mean, let's keep it honest. He knows what he's talking about, right? And just in case you missed it, we have an APB out for the Norm, who is missing in action. UFO hunters. That could be me, that could be you, that could be anyone. But for Mondays, that's only one person. That's Pareidolia Pete, Scott C. Waring. But apparently, someone took an amateur video and claims that what they captured was a 70-foot alien craft very close to Area 51. You know what? Holy shit, I just put two and two together. This could be why the Norm is missing. This is Nevada, folks. There was a 70-foot alien craft. He might have been abducted. It is very possible. It is, of course, what the article says is a poor quality footage. Come on. Do you really expect anything else? Do you expect like a 4K video of an unidentified flying object over or near one of the most infamous bases when it comes to ufology to be like a crystal clear picture? No, of course not. Don't be stupid. Don't be crazy. Don't be naive. The damn thing is going to be screwed up no matter what you try. You could pull out the latest cell phone. You could pull out what's the best camera out there, like 40 megapixel pictures. Taking 5K or 6K video. What is that, 6K Ultra HD? You still will get a fuzzy-ass, nasty video that makes you want to take whatever the hell you use back and get a damn refund. Because the shit sucks. No, that's just the way it's supposed to be. You haven't realized that yet? That's just the way it is. Because this shit's never going to be solved. Okay, I'm sorry. I just went on a little bit of a rant there. But that's the deal. So Alien Hunter, the guy with all conspiracies, Mr. Scott C. Waring, Pareidolia Pete, says, you know what? This is great. This is fantastic. I mean, Pareidolia Pete, he could pretty much see an entire ancient alien civilization on a flea's ass. That's the truth of it. He will see it. If you got a nasty-ass pimple on your face that's about to pop, he will see aliens in it. He will see, like, statues and all kind of things right before all the gunk comes out and smacks him right in the face. He said this is an interesting video of a white tic-tac shaped UFO. Whoa, shit, Dad, just forget about it. He's right. All you gotta say is Tic Tac UFO, you're good. That is a genuine thing. I mean, look, the government said it was real. It's a real UFO, the Tic Tac. So now you can just insert Tic Tac anywhere you see a UFO, and that's a genuine article, folks. Guaranteed. He continued to say the UFO was seen as a person was heading to work along Highway 62 near Palm Springs. I think that was the last place we saw the norm. The wind farm is located in the outskirts of Palm Springs, and he said that the eyewitness at first believed it to be clouds and then soon realized it was probably a UFO. You know, that's the thing about pareidolia and pareidolia Pete, anyone that behaves that way, is that the guy is telling you, well, he believes this and he believes that, and at first I thought it was a cloud, and all of a sudden it became a gigantic 70-foot Tic Tac. How the fuck does that happen? How do we get to that point? Where did we get lost? It got lost in translation here somewhere. But if you go to this article, there is a link to a video. Now, I didn't have an opportunity to check out the video because it is Pareidolia Pete, and I'm sure that all I'm going to see is two fingers holding a Tic Tac over a picture of Area 51. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. He says basically UFOs do have a high interest in human technology. That shit is laughable. And when farms are the newest in free energy harvesting to make a cleaner planet, it attracts aliens. Because dumb fuckers ain't never seen a big ass fan before. I don't get it. Pareidolia Pete, he's just, you gotta love him. It's like he's the type of person. He's that family member that you go by and every time they open their mouth, you pet him. Oh, honey, it's okay. It's okay. You know, and then you just walk away and shake your head or whatever the hell you do in complete disappointment. UFOs have been seen before around wind farms, and one even crashed into a windmill many years back. Mr. Waring also provides a statement. He claims it to be from the original witness. Not even the article, the guy who wrote the article even believes that the shit that Pareidolia Pete is saying is even true. Like, he had lived all this shit, man. But I'm going to put it out. I'm going to put his name on here because it gets me clicks. That really is what happens. He basically said this, that this was apparently from the witness, the eyewitness, the man on the scene with the camera. I always wonder how with modern technology we get all these horrible recordings of UFOs until today when I witnessed my own. Sorry for the quality. I was driving at high speed. Well, stop the fucking car. Didn't you see all those people that had the blimp as a UFO? They all stopped. They practically stopped the whole goddamn highway in order to make the claim that that was a UFO from 4.2 far. It didn't fucking help them to stop either, is all I'm saying. Because they were all fucking convinced that the Goodyear blimp was a UFO. And the thing is, it's in an area where every time the damn football team in the NFL plays, the damn blimp is there. But today, we see UFOs. I'm just not even going to get into that. He continued to say, this is the witness, saw this on a route that I take to work very often. See what I mean? Just like the folks in New Jersey. Very often, I've seen clouds around the mountains, very often, but never like this one. Pareidolia again. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen the video, but if you want to check it out, if you want to take a look at it, you want to download it, you want to dissect it, you want to see if Norm is in that video anywhere, because we do have an APB out for Norm, please download it, check it out. Let us know if you identify the Norm, because the Asgardians are missing the man with the plan out in Nevada. And again, this Tic Tac could have been out looking for him. Who knows at this point? I know I don't. But what can you do? By the way, if you're ever interested in reading or laughing or crying at any of these articles, please go into the description of whatever mobile podcast have a device you're using or platform or app, and go ahead and click on the link. It'll take you to it, I'm sure. Now, unfortunately, what I've realized is that some of these platforms have a limit to the word count, and I try to put as much information in there as possible, so you may not even see it. But if you go to Spreaker.com, and not like I'm earning anything for this, because, it's not the way it works. But if you go to Spreaker.com, in that particular application, in that particular website, you can actually see the entire posting, because that's where I actually posted to begin with. And to be honest, it's the only place you know when a podcast is live. So one more article to go. So check this out.
I've been waiting all my life for someone like you. I would watch the days go by, wasted and blue. I was out of use. Now every day, every night, every moment with you, I'm walking on air. And every day, every way, I feel I can't lose. I wanna shout it out, ain't no limit. I wanna shout it out to the world. You got me all worked up, got me spinning. I'm crazy for love, crazy for love, crazy for crazy for love. Crazy for love. Whenever lost, whenever down, you know what to do, There's no mountain I won't climb to be right by your side, right by your side. Now every day, every night, every moment with you, I'm walking on air. And every day, every way, I feel I can't lose. I wanna shout it out, ain't no limit. I wanna shout it out to the world. You got me all worked up, got me spinning. I'm crazy for love, crazy for love, crazy for crazy for love. Crazy for love. I found the miracle, I found the dream. Living is beautiful with you and me. I found the miracle, I found the dream. Living is beautiful with you and me. I wanna shout it out, ain't no limit. I wanna shout it out to the world. You got me all worked up, got me spinning. I'm crazy for love, crazy for love, crazy for. You know I'm crazy for love, crazy for. You know I'm crazy for.
So apparently, Davina was able to get loose, grab her phone, and actually chat with the rest of the Asgardians. Come with me if you want to live. That's what just happened. I can see like a whole Terminator thing going on, and they're like, I don't know. Sorry, I just watched the last Terminator movie yesterday, so I've got that in my mind. So that's what I see, basically. The question in the live chat by GameVit himself, the one and only, he said, hey, does YouTube have a gigantic Tic Tac that abducts the norm over in Nevada? Is that video on there? I don't know. The video, of course, is being provided by the news article folks, that outlet. So it doesn't seem to be like a YouTube video, but I'm sure that shit is out there somewhere, because it's the internet. Everything is true. Everything spreads like COVID-19. No doubt about it. So you'll have to go and see what's going on. So let's get to the last one. Now, I did get a request for a call-in. Here's the thing. Whenever I try to do this in the middle of an episode, shit goes terribly wrong. It just crashes. So we're going to do this article, and then we'll see if we can connect and we'd have a call-in. And I'm sure once I do that, no one's going to call in, but that's just the way it is. So let's get to it. Retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel made bold UFO claim in his final interview. There is nothing worse in ufology. I'm going to tell you, listen, not just ufology. Whatever it is, there is nothing worse than the quote-unquote deathbed confession. Like, you're not fucking helping anybody. Like, if you wait until you take your last breath, you're like 95. You can't even go to the shitter anymore. You can't even breathe on your own. You've got all kind of oxygen on you, and then your doctor comes in and says, "Hey, Matt, you're about to kick it in about 2-3 days. You want to make sure you reach out to your loved ones. Just close out any issues, any things that you need to bring to a close. Just do it. Why is it that people wait until that time frame, that 72 hours, to say, I used to work for the government, I saw an ET, and blah, blah, blah. No, that is the worst time. Deathbed confessions don't help anyone, because basically they dropped the bomb, they dropped the mic, right? And the mic is like covered in Vaseline from all the probings that people got over the years because you said it wasn't real, because you neglected to share with people what you saw. But now you're about to kick the bucket. You're about to go into them pearly gates. So you want to make sure that you just let it all out. Great. What always happens is we miss a few relevant details. We miss a few pieces of evidence because you're like on your last fucking breath. You can't get all this shit out. Your memory's shot. You got diabetes. You got heart condition. You got Alzheimer's. Nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about. But before you die, you want to confess about E.T. Anyway, I kind of went on a rant on there. But anyway, this individual, to get back on track, there's a film, a documentary out that's being put out everywhere called The Phenomena, and I was going to watch it about 2 weeks ago, but every time that I watch one of these clips, including this one, all I think about is Stephen Greer's documentaries that come out every year. By the way, he's got record numbers that he's collected for his next documentary. I mean, it's fucking unbelievable. But we'll talk about that some other episode, not right now. We're talking about Phenomena right now. And Lieutenant Colonel Robert Friend. He was interviewed. He was one of the individuals running Project Blue Book. Yeah, that project. Everybody talks about that damn project. There's a whole series about that project, right? But he was being interviewed by the director, and the question came up about why did Project Blue Book come to an end all of a sudden? Really, you would think there is enough unanswered sightings and reports for you to continue to investigate. Now, we know, at least from certain people, I don't know if they're all trustworthy, but we know for certain people that Project Blue Book might have ended, but it just became another fucking project. And then after that, another project. And then after that, another project. But he says this. he was asked a question about it closing. What would suggest? Which would suggest what? That it closed in 1969. And then the director says that they knew what it was. He kind of answered his own question. But I think, and it's hard to tell without watching the entire clip, because I only saw part of it, and there's this grin on the face of Lieutenant Colonel Robert Friend. And by the way, he has passed away ever since. He has. He was 99. Like that whole rant I went through about deathbed confessions. For fuck's sake, please don't do it. I don't care what you got. I don't know. I don't know what it is. What do you want to confess about? Just don't wait till you're like 105 and your nuts are dragging on the floor. You're not going to help anybody with that. People probably won't even want to look at you. But apparently, he said this, that officially the project was closed, even though there were about 700 open cases, because it no longer can be justified either on the grounds of national security or in the interest of science. But he kind of alluded that the reason why they closed is because they knew what it was. They knew what it was that was identified. The look that he had on his face was kind of like when Robert Bigelow was having that interview a few years back. Was it 4 or 5 years ago? And he had that Joker grin on his face. You know, like, I don't know, like the cat that swallowed the canary type of thing. This guy, God bless his heart, God bless his soul, because he's passed. He had the same look. He really did. Like he had this great secret, but he wasn't going to tell anybody. But what he did share was this. Here's a quote that tells you how fucked up this whole situation is when it comes to these projects. He says, "Do I believe that we have been visited?" For those of you who have been probed, the answer is no. He said no. I don't believe that. This is what he told the Huffington Post back in 2012. You know, because 2012 was a bad year. Apparently it was supposed to be. He says, and the reason I don't believe it is because I can't conceive of any of the ways in which we could overcome some of these things. How much food would you have to take with you on a trip for 22 years through space? First of all, where the fuck did he get 22 years from is beyond me. I don't understand that. But then who gives a fuck about food? But I digress. Let's continue. How much fuel would you need? Who fucking cares? If you're here, you're there. Nobody cares. And how much oxygen or things of that nature to sustain life do you have to have? These are all great questions, but because you waited until you were ready to die, we can't rebuttal or ask you any more fucking questions about that. Because you kicked the bucket. And this is where my frustration lies. So here's a guy who was running the project who pretty much says it's impractical for any rubber dicker to come from one side of the galaxy to the next because they ain't going to have no food, they ain't going to have no women's, they ain't going to have no clothing. They ain't even going to be able to breathe anymore. So there's no reason why anyone can even do that. I cannot fathom this. That is a problem with this whole topic to begin with, especially with scientists, with people who we see as credible, like the Lieutenant Colonel here. It's because, yeah, you're looking at it from your perspective. You're looking at it from the planet Earth, where we can even fucking get to the moon again. So of course you're going to be worried about oxygen and food. Where are you going to sleep? Are you going to have space madness? Yeah, Those are human problems. Those are not gray problems or reptilians or whoever the fuck else is out there. That's not their problem. They've overcome that. This is what we're dealing with. This is the nature of ufology. So, of course, people probably they eat that up. But, when you look at his little grin, the look he had on his face, which was scary as all hell, then yeah, maybe he did know something and he wasn't going to tell us. At least not directly. But again, all there is on this article is a snippet of what went down. And we'll have to see if there is anything to this at all. Now, I'm trying to pick a song to play. We're just going to play a song because the line is open for whoever wants to call in. But please, be gentle. Now, I don't know what the topic is. Hell, I can't. I'm trying to pick a song here. I don't even know what the hell to pick. But we no words. We got no words.